always. I didn't underestimate him. I train really hard. I'm in good shape, and I'm ready for hard fight. And every fight is most important fight. So I must win this. It's the most important.
But we're here. We're here, we're live, we're ready. We trained, we've been in camp for maybe 14 weeks now, so just ready to rock and roll, to be honest.
He's been talking you up. He's been kind of talking himself down. He's been talking about how he's just an old man and you should help him cross the street. What do you think's going on here? Is he trying to kind of lure you into a false sense of security? What game is he playing, if any at all? What do you think?
I think there's a rule in the 48 laws of power where you play a sheep to catch a wolf, and I feel like that's what Dillian Whyte's doing. If he is, if he's not, it doesn't matter because I'm gonna bring the heat Saturday night.
Dillian Whyte, are you playing the sheep to catch the wolf? Is that what's been going on this week?
I don't know, man, but there ain't no sheep around there, you know. No sheep around here. There's a lot of wolves around here, but no sheep.
Well, you actually said, Dillian, that you're being thrown to the wolves here, but they don't realise you've still got teeth. I guess the question is...
You know, Filip Hrgovic's always been a talker. He's always trying to get or said something before the fight, and if he's had a poor performance, he's lost, or whatever he's won, he's always had an excuse. So he just is a talker. I just let the talker be the talker, innit?
Prince Frank?
Well, it's exciting, but I don't like these press conferences. I really do not like it when it goes this way. I don't like that language and all the stuff that goes down. Totally unnecessary because we've got a really, really good competitive fight.
Filip Hrgovic loses control and slaps Moses Itauma during heated press conference. Filip Hrgovic snapped completely, swinging a slap across Moses Itauma's face on that stage while security scrambled to wedge themselves between two heavyweights who genuinely looked ready to go to war right there and then. Moses Itauma himself, and that composure right there is chilling. Slapped on live camera and he barely blinks, while Filip Hrgovic is already unraveling before fight week has even properly started.
I don't really focus on that, only because it doesn't do me any favors when I'm in the ring. So like, although the posters are good and XYZ, like at the end of the day, I still go and perform. So obviously, all that is advertisement to get eyes on the fight. My job is to do the fighting, so I never really paid no attention to that.
Filip Hrgovic's own mouth, calling Moses delusional right after losing control himself. Reporters in that room could barely believe the nerve of it, and social media exploded within minutes of that clip going live.
Delusional about beating me and upsetting me, so he's not credible to say anything after that stupid things what he said. He should.
Duke McKenzie shrugging it off as business as usual, but sources close to the fight say the promotional team could barely contain the chaos backstage. Ticket sales are one thing, Filip Hrgovic's temper is another story entirely.
I'll do. And smuggle an egg in to the whole event and then slap Ben with it when the time was right. I'll get Simon's taking it, Danny's taking it in a second. At the end of it, when some degree of calm was restored,
Simon Jordan calling it ugly on national broadcast, and honestly, that's the reaction most of the boxing world had watching it back live. Filip Hrgovic's stunt is now the only thing anyone is talking about.
It's great promotion.
I think it's great promotion. I think it's ugly. I think it's
not a cheap shot.
But they don't. Of course, it's a cheap shot.
Do you know what I'm surprised, Simon?
Boxing is littered with cheap shots.
But they don't need to sell the fight, really, do they?
Exactly, Danny.
Well, they do and they don't. To the boxing world.
Pay-per-view, you mean?
Yeah.
Simon, people see through it.
There's only one thing worse than people talking about you. It's people not talking about you.
Yeah, but it's how they're talking about you. Look at the messages.
Derek Chisora dropping a bombshell theory here, suggesting Moses Itauma found a nerve nobody else could touch. If that's true, expect Hrgovic's camp to be on damage control heading into fight week.
A topic that maybe shouldn't be brought up?
Listen, you know everybody's got their trigger points. Yeah, I got my trigger point. Yeah. And
even Eddie Hearn, always the promoter first, couldn't fully defend that slap. And when the man selling the fight admits discomfort with Filip Hrgovic's actions, you know Moses Itauma has already won round one of this entire build-up.
Sometimes, and if you don't have chin, you can be a great fighter.
I'll hit you before you hit me. We'll see.
Okay, so what if I don't react?
Then we'll switch
forward.
That's fine, we'll see.
David Price offered another reason to take Hrgovic seriously. After watching the Croatian completely overwhelm Dave Allen, Price was surprised by how hard Hrgovic maintained his pace. That pressure matters because a young fighter can look spectacular when he controls the...
Listen to that desperation in Filip Hrgovic's own words, insisting he simply cannot afford to lose. Reporters on site described the tension in that room as unbearable, and it only got worse when Moses Itauma took the microphone next.
He's probably be the best ever what we've seen him. He'll try everything to win. I'll do my best to win as well, so it will be a good fight.
Moses Itauma and reporters in the room noted the shift in atmosphere instantly. No shouting, no theatrics, just a fighter calmly confirming 14 weeks of camp behind him and total trust in the game plan. That kind of composure right after being slapped on camera is rattling people across the sport. Sources close to the broadcast say even neutral commentators in the room exchanged glances at how settled he sounded, treating fight night like routine business rather than the biggest occasion of his career. It's exactly the kind of quiet confidence that has boxing insiders buzzing that Filip Hrgovic may already be facing a mental battle he cannot win before a single punch is thrown.
Honestly, I'm not putting too much pressure on the outcome of the fight. I know my game plan, I know what I need to do, so it's just my job to go there and execute. Whatever happens Saturday night, let it be.
Daniel Dubois, and even while giving Filip Hrgovic his due credit, the real headline is where he lands the focus on Moses Itauma and what he can do. When a genuine world-level heavyweight admits the whole division is tuning in specifically to judge the youngster, that's not a small thing. That's the entire boxing world holding its breath. Reporters covering the build-up say this quote alone has been clipped and shared everywhere since it dropped, because it confirms exactly what fans already suspected. This fight isn't just about Hrgovic's experience anymore. It's about whether Moses Itauma is ready to answer the loudest questions being asked about him yet.
Be happy? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's been whacked round the face with an object in his eye, and they ain't very happy about it. So we've just got to make sure if we go ahead with the presser on Thursday.
And this one is savage. He's practically laughing on camera describing how he'd have faked a bad phone line just to dodge fighting Moses Itauma this early. That's a heavyweight veteran openly admitting the danger here. And it's fueling growing reports that Filip Hrgovic's own team pushed him into a fight his style was never built for. Insiders following camp preparation say whispers of regret have already started circulating. And if a respected voice like Cazorla is calling it the wrong fight to take on national broadcast, you can be certain that theory is only gaining momentum heading into fight week.
anytime you take a fight with the young lion to go box him, you're mad. They offered me that fight, they're like, oh, Derek, His Excellency wants you to fight Moses Itauma. I like, bad connection. I can't hear you, bad connection. Can't hear you, bad connection, yeah. I was like, and they try to call back, I'm like,
Do you ultimately think it's because it was just the wrong fight to take?
It's the wrong fight to...
Frank Warren, and that quote alone has become the standout headline of this entire build-up. A promoter who has seen every era of heavyweight boxing openly admitting he cannot recall another fighter with that quality of opposition inside 14 fights is not empty hype. It is a genuine historical claim. Broadcasters covering the story say this line has already been replayed across every major boxing outlet within hours. When you weigh that resume against Filip Hrgovic's inconsistent recent form, it becomes clear exactly why so many respected figures in this sport keep circling back to the same conclusion about who holds the real advantage here.
His age, and where he's at, he's got to be, I think. And you know, and what he's doing, and the quality of the opposition. You know, for a heavyweight, and you look at his resume, you look at his last 4 or 5 opponents. They're well-known names, big names, and he's done it in style, in absolute style. I can't think of any heavyweights who've fought that quality of opposition within full.
Usyk rarely hands out praise this openly to a fighter still this early in his career. Highlighting Moses Itauma's age alongside his ability is Usyk essentially confirming he sees genuine long-term greatness, not just a hyped prospect. That kind of endorsement from the very top of the sport piles even more pressure onto Filip Hrgovic, who now has to prove he's not simply a stepping stone toward the summit Usyk himself occupies.
My name is Itauma. Moses Itauma. I think he's a great fighter. He's young, 20 years, yeah?
20.
Yeah, 20 years. I think Itauma have big future.
Adeola Daipo, and this prediction has already caused a stir online. Rather than calling it an easy night, the forecast is far more dramatic. Real trouble for Moses Itauma before he ultimately finds a way past Filip Hrgovic. That kind of honest breakdown is exactly what's fueling fan debate right now, because it paints this as a genuine battle rather than a guaranteed mismatch, and reporters covering reactions say this exact clip has become one of the most shared predictions of Fight Week so far.
It's almost like I don't know, he's starting kind of from scratch, really. But I do think people are going to get behind him once he ices Hrgovic, and I do expect him to ice Hrgovic as well, but he will come through some trouble. I do think
Filip Hrgovic himself, and after everything this Fight Week has already delivered, that warning lands very differently now. Throwing someone out of the ring is easy to say into a microphone, and reporters covering the story have already pointed out the irony. This is the same man who lost his composure completely just days earlier. If anything, this kind of bold talk is being read by insiders as another sign Hrgovic is trying to convince himself, not the public, that he's actually in control heading into Saturday night.
Moses Itauma is a very strong guy, but I'm a stronger guy and I'm gonna throw him out of the ring.
Dave Allen, and this prediction sent shockwaves through boxing media the moment it aired. A stoppage inside 3 rounds is about as bold a claim as you'll hear from a fighter who has actually shared rings at world level, and his breakdown of Filip Hrgovic standing tall with straight shots against pure speed has been dissected by analysts ever since. Whether Hrgovic genuinely has the chin to survive an early storm remains the single biggest question heading into fight night, and predictions this dramatic only add to the growing narrative that Moses Itauma could end this one long before the judges are ever needed.
I think Itauma stops Hrgovic in 2 or 3. I
With,
really do.
do you think he puts him out cold?
I think he
or
knocks Hrgovic out cold. Yeah.
Cold.
I think he does. As good as I think Hrgovic is, and he will master good for me, I just think Itauma is all wrong for him, because Hrgovic just stand up tall, straight shots. I think Itauma will just be miles too fast for him, because Hrgovic's going to come and have a go. Hrgovic's going to try and knock Itauma out, which is great. But I just think...
And we're still yet to see if he's got whiskers.
Of course, yeah, but I just think Itauma's going to hit him first.
Dev Sani, and this is the story that changes everything about how we should be viewing that press conference chaos. Frank Sanchez reportedly stepping aside so this exact matchup could carry the IBF World Heavyweight title turns Filip Hrgovic's meltdown into far more than a viral moment. It becomes a genuine championship crisis. Boxing media has been buzzing about this development for days because losing your composure on stage is one thing, but doing it with a world title now officially on the line is a completely different level of pressure. For Moses Itauma, staying calm through all of this while chasing his first world championship is the exact kind of storyline that turns a rising prospect into a certified superstar almost overnight.
There is breaking news today. Moses Itauma versus Filip Hrgovic will be for the IBF World Heavyweight title. Now remember I said this, remember I said that they must find a way to just manoeuvre Frank Sanchez out of the way. Frank Sanchez was #1 with the IBF. If I'm Frank Warren, I will be doing everything I can to try and just get Sanchez out the way. however you can to ensure that Itauma versus Hrgovic is for the IBF world title. And he was the next in line. They were looking for someone for him to fight. They ordered Frank Sanchez against Moses Itauma, and clearly the chat began then between the camps, and they clearly said to Frank Sanchez, do you mind just maybe just taking a little bit of money and then you can fight the winner, and then we can have this fight for a world title fight? That's what's happened. Now, I said at the time, maybe they'll try and push Sanchez towards Cabial in some sort of rematch for the WBC, but it looks like he's just accepted some kind of step-aside money with the kind of promise that he'll get the winner of Moses versus Hrgovic for the IBF World Heavyweight title. Now, this is big news.
Eddie Hearn again, and even trying to stay diplomatic about a fighter under his own promotional banner, he still leans firmly toward Moses Itauma, calling him much too sharp. That's about as close to an admission as you'll get from a promoter who has to keep both camps happy publicly. Media outlets picked this quote apart within minutes of release, because when the man literally selling the fight signals where the real advantage sits, casual fans take notice fast. Calling it Filip Hrgovic's first real test may be technically accurate, but reporters covering the build-up say the tone of that answer told a very different story about who Hearn actually expects to win.
He's a good fighter. You know, I think Hrgovic is a world-class heavyweight. Is he elite? I think he's close to it. And there was one stage I think he was really close to it, but you know, he's going to fight Itauma now. I think it's a good fight. You know, I think Moses will be much too sharp for him, but I think it's a proper challenge. I think it's Moses' first real test.
Joseph Parker, a man who's genuinely survived elite heavyweight level himself, so this assessment carries real weight in boxing circles. Calling Moses Itauma talented and constantly improving while still respecting Filip Hrgovic's work rate gives one of the most balanced breakdowns we've heard all week. Analysts have latched onto Parker's framing because it isn't guaranteeing an easy night. It's setting the exact terms for what a true statement win would actually look like. That's now become the benchmark reporters are using heading into fight night, watching closely to see whether Moses can absorb real pressure and still look dominant doing it.
Very sharp, only getting better and better each fight. And this will be a good test for him, because Hrgovic is no slouch, and no one is just going to come easy and try and give it to him, you know? Hrgovic will be throwing punches, chasing him down, and if Moses can deal with that and look impressive, then you know he's ready for the big stage.
What's truly at stake here just escalated massively. This is now confirmed as an IBF World Heavyweight title fight, meaning that SLAP wasn't just an embarrassing headline, it was Filip Hrgovic cracking under pressure with a genuine world championship suddenly on the line. If Moses Itauma wins, he doesn't just collect a belt, he instantly validates every bold comparison Alexander Usyk, Frank Warren, and Joseph Parker have already made about his ceiling. But if Hrgovic somehow shocks the world, it justifies his trainer's bold Mike Tyson talk and could completely derail Moses' rocketing rise. Reporters on the ground say Moses looks like the calmer, hungrier fighter walking in, while Hrgovic seems to be fighting his own nerves as much as his opponent. Are you backing Moses Itauma? Or is Filip Hrgovic pulling off the biggest upset in heavyweight boxing this year? Drop your thoughts below.